one thing I just want to point out to you guys about this problem is although this one is a third piece that we can certainly draw a body of, I'm going to show you that we actually kind of lack too much information on this one, which is why I didn't use it in my solution. So we'd have this body, and then I have at point C here, and then I have D. I'm going to need my forces. So I'm going to have to draw my D equal but opposite to what I did before. So I'm going to have dy up and dx to the left. And then here I'll have BC acting again in tension. And lastly, I have E, okay, because it's still touching that piece there. So that's going to have a normal force to this surface. So it's perpendicular to that surface and at an angle. It's not going to be in the y direction in this case because it doesn't, because this surface is on an angle, and so the normal has to be on an angle as well. So the problem here is that now when I go to try to find the distances that I need, I do know, from D to C here, I know that that's 0.5. I know from D to C this way, from D to C this way is 1.5. Okay, so I can certainly have enough information there. We know we can get the angle for BC. Okay, but the issue becomes that although I know from D to E in the horizontal, I don't know about it in the vertical. And I don't know the angle that E acts at because I don't know the angle of that yellow piece. So I'm just left with too much information that I don't know. And the other thing is that because in the other two bodies I had 6 unknowns, but I knew with 2 bodies I'd have 6 equations, and I knew I didn't need an additional body. Now, having this body means that I could solve for more unknowns. So maybe, if I needed to know the angle of this, that would be an unknown that would come up in the E, and then that would help me figure out the location of E here. I can have that. But usually in these problems, you won't find it so much in frames, but definitely you'll find it in machines like this. You may find that a piece that you drew isn't something that you can use. The way I've seen it the most is if there's a pulley on something and they don't give us the distance of the pulley, but we have tension on it or something, but we don't know the radius there, then it can be hard to leave the pulley on the body for us to use, because then in order to figure out our moment that involved the tension there, we would need to know some distance. So a lot of times with pulleys, that's why I separate it. So I'll have the pulley with the pin, and then I'd have the body with the pulley like that, because we'll have, usually then we have T and T or something. And I just need sum of forces, and I don't need to know the distance because I'm not going to use a moment. And then that helps me relate it back to the frame, whatever these are. Okay, so just keep those kind of things in mind. If you're missing distance information, then likely that's just a sign that you need to pick a different body to look at.